Alright, so this one isn't going to be so much a lecture as it is me trying to show you some things that where you need to go and what to do. So for the fitness education lecture, it's really based off the book and then some of the resources that I've provided you. So if you read the chapter book, you can then go to course content, lecture materials. Sorry, my internet's a little slow right now. There we go. Go down to curriculum models, and then I created a folder here for fitness education. So within this, you've got a PowerPoint that's directly from the book manufacturers that kind of highlights and summarizes some of the things that were in there. And then I've added several documents here that I have gotten from SHAPE conventions. And actually, this right here would be a SHAPE convention piece, but there's the appropriate, inappropriate use of fitness assessments. This is a SHAPE position statement. You should absolutely make sure you read this. It's pretty brief. These same practices are included in the general inappropriate, appropriate practice document put out by SHAPE, but this is a separate document, and it is a standalone position statement on how we use fitness assessments. So as a reminder, we shouldn't be using fitness assessments for grading purposes based off the scores that students receive on those tests. And then there's some other pieces within that. Here's one. There was a presentation on using CrossFit in schools, and so I downloaded their information. So if you're into CrossFit or think that might be something fun you might want to integrate, you'll have to take a look. Here's a presentation where someone looked at the effective exercise progression for children and adolescents. So it's really important, obviously, that when we are doing fitness activities that we're not doing, say, for example, powerlifting with our 10-year-olds, because that would be wildly inappropriate from a developmental standpoint. So this kind of gives you an overview of that. This Fit Female curriculum is a real brief presentation. And by presentations, what I mean are these are people's handouts or their slides. They're not actual video recordings. The Fit Female curriculum is kind of a female-only class, and so there's some tips and hints there kind of to help build the self-efficacy of our female students. Then there was one where this person did yard games as a unit, but they included incorporated fitness, and so I think it's really kind of a neat example to see how fitness can be embedded and weaved into a variety of contexts, not just having to be its own standalone unit to address standard number 3. And the last one is Tabata. So Tabata is like high intensity interval training, and I believe this one is basing it off of 4-minute intervals. So you might want to take a peek at that. So for the purposes of the quiz, when it comes to the presentations from between CrossFit all the way down to Tabata, you need to kind of choose one of these topic areas and read through and look through that resource. Also, this is a fantastic resource, The 8 Colors of Fitness by Susan Brew, and I'm actually going to show you the website. So she wrote this book. You can order it here, but the book itself has, I think, a tan cover, but it's all about how people, we all have our different styles of how we like to work out. So some of us like to be really social, some of us like to be by ourselves, some of us like it to be competitive, some of us like it to be more about fun. And so you're going to go on here and take the quiz, answer all the questions, and find out what color of fitness you are. And then you need to be able to talk about that in the quiz. Okay? So if I go back, this is all within the fitness education folder here at the bottom within your curriculum models piece. So now I'm going to go back out to course content, and I've also posted your philosophy statement. Let me go back one more. Here we go. So teaching philosophy. It's going to be due, I moved the date because obviously I just posted this morning for you to have. It's going to be due next Tuesday. You need to turn in a hard copy to my mailbox in Benson Bunker Fieldhouse, room 1, by 11 a.m. If it's not in there by 11 a.m., then it will be considered a late paper. So within the teaching philosophy folder, you'll find the actual assignment, and you'll find a template to organize your ideas. So the assignment, here it is that you're basically going to write a 2 to 4 page teaching philosophy, and you're going to have an introduction, the body of your paper, and a conclusion. There's a great website here that you can go to that will give you some tips and hints about what to include or how to go about writing your teaching philosophy. And then once you're done, you are going to actually score yourself. So this is the exact scoring sheet that I am going to use. And you can just go in and, for example, you might say, okay, there's a clear focus or theme. You say you're a 4, you can go in and just highlight that. Okay, and then make sure you print it out in color. Or print it out and then use a pencil or pen to circle and rate yourself. Tally up your score out of 100, because there are 20 items here, and let me know what you think of your teaching philosophy paper. Okay, so what is a teaching philosophy? Basically, it's explaining your beliefs and your core values about teaching. It looks at maybe why you're interested in teaching physical education, and it could possibly answer the questions such as, how you're going to motivate your students, what's important to you, what kind of standards are you primarily going to focus on, what kind of approach to teaching are you going to take. So you have learned a ton of stuff in this class, an absolute ton. So you should be using those things within your paper. So for example, you might tell me that you really are interested in student-centered teaching, but you fully recognize that specifically units like archery might call for a more direct approach. So the assignment's laid out. Make sure you grade yourself. It's being handed in hard copy to my office by Tuesday, 11 a.m. And to help you with this, and sorry, you can hear Parker in the background, is also a template here so you can organize your ideas. It might be useful to print it out, and so it gives you some prompts and you can kind of write down what you're thinking, and then you can start using those boxes to help put together your philosophy statement. I highly recommend you have someone proofread your philosophy statement to make sure that it not only makes sense, but that it is grammatically correct, period. So if you were going to actually go for an interview for a job and they asked you to bring a copy of your philosophy statement, you would not want to hand them something that is not grammatically correct. It would probably DQ you from the job. All right, well, I have a screaming child, so I need to go tend to him, but that those are the directions for the fitness education piece as well as the teaching philosophy.